There are stories that leave behind a trace of warmth, others that teach lessons through reason, and a few rare ones that stay imprinted on the heart because they transform the way we see our lives. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma is one such timeless fable. Written with simplicity but carrying profound depth, it is more than just a book about success and happiness. It is a story about rediscovering the true essence of life, about stripping away illusions of wealth and power, and about understanding that real fulfillment comes from within. Through a beautifully woven narrative, Robin Sharma presents not just advice, but a philosophy of living that has inspired millions across the globe. The story begins with the glamorous yet exhausting life of Julian Mantle, a high-profile trial lawyer whose reputation precedes him. He is known for his commanding presence in courtrooms, his ability to win impossible cases, and his unmatched wealth. His days are filled with clients who seek him out at any cost, and his nights often pass in luxury. The red Ferrari that he drives becomes not just a car but a symbol of everything he has achieved: status, money, and power. Yet beneath this glittering exterior lies a man consumed by the very success he once longed for. His health is deteriorating, his relationships have crumbled, and his spirit feels empty. Though admired by many, Julian himself feels chained to a life that offers him everything but peace. This contrast between outward success and inner emptiness culminates in a dramatic collapse. One ordinary day, during a high-stakes trial in a packed courtroom, Julian suffers a severe heart attack. The room that once echoed with his voice now fills with panic. Colleagues and clients watch in shock as the invincible lawyer falls, his body unable to carry the weight of endless ambition. For Julian, this is not just a medical emergency but a profound awakening. He is forced to confront the truth that his pursuit of wealth and recognition has cost him his health, his happiness, and the joy of living. Instead of returning to the same life after recovery, Julian chooses a radical path. He sells his mansion, his Ferrari, and all his worldly possessions, disappearing from the legal world. Friends and colleagues speculate about his fate. Rumors spread that he has gone to India in search of something that money could not buy. For years, there is silence. Then, unexpectedly, Julian returns. When he reappears, he is almost unrecognizable. The tired, stressed man who once carried the weight of his ego now radiates vitality and serenity. His eyes glow with calmness, his body is lean and strong, and he carries himself with the presence of someone who has found deep peace. The transformation astonishes John, Julian's old colleague and friend, who listens as Julian shares the story of his journey. After leaving his old life behind, Julian traveled across India in search of wisdom. His journey eventually led him to the Himalayas, where he encountered the mystical sages of Savannah. These monks, though simple in appearance, carried within them the secret to happiness, longevity, and purpose. They welcomed Julian into their community and taught him principles that reshaped his mind, body, and soul. What Julian received from them was not a set of abstract ideas but a practical philosophy for living a rich and meaningful life. To share their wisdom, Julian uses a fable given to him by the monks. He tells John to imagine a beautiful, overflowing garden, lush, vibrant, and full of life. This garden, he explains, represents the human mind. Just as a real garden must be nurtured, watered, and protected from weeds, so must the mind be cultivated with positive thoughts, focus, and care. Neglect it, and weeds of fear, doubt, and negativity will take over. Care for it, and it will blossom with creativity, peace, and strength. From this garden begins the lesson of self-mastery, the foundation of all inner growth. Within this imaginary garden stands a tall lighthouse. The lighthouse, Julian explains, represents life's purpose. Just as a lighthouse guides lost ships safely to shore, a clear sense of purpose guides a person's life. Without goals and a vision, one drifts aimlessly, no matter how busy or successful they appear. The sages taught Julian to define his mission with clarity, to live not by chance but by design, and to measure success not in possessions but in meaning. Walking through the garden, Julian describes the appearance of a huge sumo wrestler, a figure both comical and powerful. The wrestler symbolizes the principle of Kaizen, the Japanese philosophy of constant self-improvement. The monks believed that a fulfilled life is one where a person grows a little every day, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The wrestler reminds us that strength lies in discipline, in pushing past comfort, and in committing to lifelong learning. As the sumo wrestler moves forward, he discovers a shining gold stopwatch. This represents time, the most precious resource of all. Julian tells John that time is life's greatest gift, yet it is often wasted on trivialities. The monks emphasized the importance of using time wisely, prioritizing what truly matters, and recognizing that every moment lost is lost forever. Unlike wealth, time can never be regained once spent. Next, the wrestler stumbles upon a pink wire cable. This cable, strong and unbreakable, represents discipline and willpower. The monks believed that discipline is the thread that weaves together a meaningful life. It is through discipline that one resists distractions, overcomes temptations, and stays true to a chosen path. Just as a cable is made of many thin wires twisted together, so is strong willpower built by small acts of self-control practiced daily. Continuing along the path, the wrestler discovers a diamond-studded trail. This dazzling path represents the joy of living simply and embracing the present. The sages of Savannah lived with gratitude and found happiness in life's small pleasures rather than chasing endless desires. They taught Julian that real wealth is not in possessions but in experiences, contentment, and appreciation for the beauty of existence. To walk the diamond path is to choose joy, simplicity, and gratitude every day. Finally, the wrestler comes across a circle of fragrant roses. These roses symbolize relationships, love, and service to others. The monks reminded Julian that a life lived only for oneself is empty. True fulfillment comes from compassion, kindness, and the bonds we create with others. To nurture relationships, to serve humanity, and to act with love is to experience the deepest form of happiness. The circle of roses teaches that no matter how strong, wise, or disciplined we become, we are incomplete without love and connection. Julian explains to John that each of these symbols, the garden, the lighthouse, the wrestler, the stopwatch, the cable, the diamond path, and the roses, contains a principle that, when practiced, leads to mastery of self and a fulfilling life. He emphasizes that the wisdom of the sages is not meant to be admired from afar but to be lived every single day. Transformation requires commitment, discipline, and consistent practice. Julian describes practical rituals that the monks taught him, which allowed him to embody these principles. He shares the value of rising early to greet the day with intention, of practicing meditation and visualization to strengthen the mind, of dedicating time each day to personal growth, and of nurturing the body with exercise and healthy living. He stresses the importance of reflection, gratitude, and serving others, explaining that these daily practices are the bridge between knowledge and transformation. As Julian speaks, John realizes that this wisdom is not reserved for monks in distant mountains but is accessible to everyone. The lessons apply to busy professionals, parents, students, and anyone seeking balance and purpose. Julian himself is proof. Once a man consumed by stress, greed, and emptiness, he now radiates vitality, peace, and joy. His life is a living testimony to the truth that changing one's habits can change one's destiny. The book's message becomes clear: true success is not about acquiring more but about cultivating the inner life. A beautiful house, an expensive car, or a celebrated career mean little if the mind is restless, the heart is empty, and relationships are neglected. Real success lies in mastering the mind, living with purpose, embracing growth, honoring time, practicing discipline, savoring life's beauty, and nurturing love. The story concludes with Julian urging John, and by extension the reader, not to let the lessons remain as stories but to weave them into daily living. He insists that transformation begins not tomorrow, not someday, but today with the smallest of steps practiced consistently. The monk who sold his Ferrari endures as a classic because it touches a universal truth. It tells us that happiness is not somewhere far away but already within us, waiting to be cultivated. Through the voice of Julian and the wisdom of the sages, Robin Sharma reminds us that every person has the ability to create a life of joy, balance, and meaning if only they choose to master themselves and live intentionally. It is a book that continues to whisper to its readers long after the last page, asking them not just to admire its wisdom but to live it.